How you doing, guys? Welcome to another Monday Night Live here on the channel Brazil Unsubtitled. It's always a pleasure to be here with you guys. Charles Jones is already with us. Thanks for the support, man, the constant support, the partnership, always with us here to enjoy an hour or so of good conversation about Brazil and about the work that we develop here on the channel as often as possible, of course. I just want to say I'm very happy because Fluminense has been able to eliminate Inter. So if there's an Italian watching, I'm very sorry. But I'm happy at the same time because it's a Brazilian team, of course. Flamengo couldn't make it. Couldn't do the same last night, unfortunately. But Fluminense did, and so we have half of the teams that we had at the beginning of the competition passing to the quarterfinals. So now we have Palmeiras and we have Fluminense. And Palmeiras is going to play Chelsea, my friend Charles' favorite team. Let's see what is going to happen. Here in Brazil, they're talking about revenge, Charles. Because apparently there was an Intercontinental Championship final that Chelsea beat Palmeiras and got the title. Geneviero is here. How are you, my friend? Thanks for being here. Always a pleasure. My count here of people watching at the same time is not working. Let's see if that changes. No, it's still not working. But from the other computer, let me see. I think I have the right number. Yes, okay. I have the right number. On the software, it's not telling me how many people. Not happy about that, but Manchester City, mostly. Yeah, I believe so. I believe Manchester City is very strong. Actually, the European teams are incredibly strong, no? I was watching the game with Flamengo yesterday. It was incredible how that guy from England plays well, man. What is his name? Harry Kane. People always told me about Wayne Rooney and I mean, when I watched the games about England, they talked about Wayne Rooney very much. But I'm gonna confess, in my opinion, that's my opinion, never saw anything special about him. But this Harry Kane plays really well, incredible. The kicks that he the balls that he kicked to the goal and the goals he scored were amazing. Amazing. Very precise. His precision, putting the ball at the very corner, was amazing. It was incredible. They can talk about revenge all they want. As for us, we're going to be watching Steven William. Who is this guy, Steven William? Okay, the player from Palmeiras. Is this? Yeah, I don't know the names of all the players, I'm going to be honest with you, especially from Palmeiras. I'm just rooting for the guys because it's Brazil, after all, right? So if it's Brazil, I will give my support. Oh, I like this way. So how are you guys doing? Harry Kane is rated as one of the top strikers in the world. Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing. I was paying attention to his game yesterday. And look, all the teams, they kick the ball from out of the area, which is fantastic. This is something sometimes I think Brazilians miss. They just want to be dribbling all the way through the goal, which is very good if you have players like Ronaldo, Romário, Ronaldinho Gaúcho, Kaká, that were amazing players, amazing dribblers. I don't know if I can say that. But nowadays, man, if an opportunity clears up, just kick the ball. That's what I think. Kick the ball, man. At least you have more opportunities to score, but sometimes people forget. But it's very good. I'm very happy with this championship. I'm pretty happy with all the games that I have. Is currently playing for Palmeiras. Okay. All right. Oh yes, I've been told. I remember now, but I didn't know his name. But I think it's giving a very good message for the continent here, because we have a lot of people watching us. The Paraguayans, the Argentinians, the Peruvians, the Chileans, and Brazil has always been a reference on the continent. But more now, more so now, because they will look and say, "Wow, these teams have the condition to really face an European team like this with much less investment as the guys have, you know." So fantastic. I'm very happy. So we're starting a new week. How did you guys spend the weekend? Was it good? I hope so. We don't have many news from Brazil, I think, from the weekend. I'm going to take a look at the news and see what's going on. For me personally, I don't support because of the country. For example, the Seattle Sounders. Okay. All right, it's a way of seeing things. I support because it's Brazil. Of course, if my club were there, I wouldn't be having this conversation with you. I would be definitely supporting my club, my team, but they are not there. My club is just sucking all the time, not playing as it used to. It used to be the best team in Brazil. Nowadays, doesn't have much participation in the things that happen, you know. So that's bad. But of course, I will be supporting Brazil. I'm never gonna support the continent, okay? So it's just a taste. I don't like the Argentinian football. I respect them, but I'm not a fan. So I'm not gonna support Boca or River or this kind of clubs. But if it's a Brazilian team, except the Corinthians, I don't care about Corinthians. So and that's true. If Corinthians is playing, I'm not gonna support, and it's from Brazil. But the others, I don't have any beef with, so it's fine. So let's see what's going on here in the on the news. I was saying that last Friday we talked about that Brazilian girl, right, Juliana, that had an accident in Indonesia, and I saw that a few days later, after she died, another mountaineer, not really a mountaineer, a tourist had a problem on the same place. Can you imagine? Hello, Tisha. How are you? Always good to see you here. How are things at Bermuda? How hot is the country right now? Because I have been seeing some news about the US and Europe, and the temperatures are going up to 45 degrees Celsius, which is more than 100 and something Fahrenheit, which for me is just crazy. You know, the days we had 38 in São Paulo, I wanted to die because I lay on the floor because so hot it was, you know. So we don't have air conditioner here in the house. Can you imagine how hot it was? All the windows open, the doors open, and it was just stuffy, very stuffy. Yeah, I'm reading now 44 degrees Celsius in a few places. Even schools are closing. So what is the temperature in Bermuda? Something, just to finish that conversation about soccer, something I was noticing is that, I mean, something I heard is that the Brazilian clubs are going to come back home with a lot of money, huh? Fluminense, Palmeiras, every phase they pass, more money will be injected into their accounts, which is fantastic, you know? 84, wow, but humidity is also high in the 70s. Yeah, I can imagine. But you guys might be prepared, right? So that means the house is prepared for the temperature. Ah, Charles, get out of here, man. Can't believe you're supporting Corinthians, buddy. Get out of here. It's a team we love to hate. Most people in São Paulo love to hate Corinthians. Yeah, I know the winner gets 125 million, but I think every phase that they pass, they get some money. Is that right? And it's cumulative. Yeah, so 125 would be total. Is that right? I support São Paulo Futebol Clube. The only in Brazil with three world titles, of course, in the old format of the competition, right? This one here. São Paulo Futebol Clube. The only one who beat Milan, Barcelona when they were on top of their games, and also Liverpool, 2005, I guess. Our houses are constructed in a similar fashion to those in São Paulo. No internal heating, but many people do. Really? So you guys build houses with bricks, not wood like in the US? Ah, okay. You never heard of São Paulo, right? Got it. So you don't follow soccer, my friend, or at least you've been following the last few years, which is a shame, because as I said, the last few years we have sucked. Horrible games, horrible championships. I don't remember the last time São Paulo won something, but there was a time like back in 2005, 4. I think we got 3 Brasileirão in sequence. Never happened to any club, you know. Concrete blocks. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't help when you live in a concrete house. Doesn't help. I think wood is better because at least you can make it uh, prepared for the environment that you live, right? You can work in the environment inside the house. They call isolation, insulation, I guess, right? The insulation of the house. The only thing that I can see about so far that I can see about the news here is they've been talking about our president Lula and saying that his popularity is down, and I don't know if he wins another mandate next year. Next year we're gonna have election again, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's next year. Yeah, I think it's next year. I don't. People are saying that he's probably not gonna win because his popularity is down, and they say that his uh, third mandate here is separated, right, guys? Because he was the president a long time ago. It's nothing compared to the first two mandates. Of course, the time was different, but a lot of his policies of today, he thinks would work for the new scenario, and it's not. So a lot of people are pissed off. Let's see what comes for next year. Some names are surging, raising. The good news, I guess, was for Brazilian was that we were gonna be charged a bigger IOF because the government was looking for another tax in order to balance the accounts here, the bills. But they got back on the decision, which is really good. So I was gonna be uh, affected by this decision because I buy books from the United States, and so it's called IOF because it's a tax over financial operations. So if you buy something abroad, you're charged this, even books. So I was gonna be charged, but thank God the guys got back on the decision. What else is happening? There's a Brazilian tennis player that is on the surge now. His name is João Fonseca. He's been winning a lot of matches, which is, I think I'll keep an eye on this boy because it's probably gonna be a very big name in Brazil, that's for sure. And he's pretty young, if I'm not mistaken, he's 20 something, or in the end of his 19, something like this. Can't believe you like Corinthians, man. That's very ugly of you to support Corinthians. Nothing much is going on. If you guys have any questions, Neil Sandin, boa noite, meu querido. How are you, my friend? Neil is with us. We have royalty in the room. I thought you were working, Neil, because that's all you do with your life, right? You work, 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 and travel to Brazil, of course. Man, if you come to São Paulo, you will see a lot of people who don't like Corinthians. You are an exception. I don't know who you met that put this in your head, man. You should have met the right person, the right people, you know? Because you met the wrong people. No, I'm joking, because if Corinthians are watching, they're going to be offended. It's just an interesting... it's an interesting competition clash that we have sometimes. Hello, how are you, Kushi? It's Kushi. Thanks for being here. Welcome to the group. Welcome to the channel. If you are new here, please take a look at the materials that we have, the videos, the content, I mean. Consider subscribing if you haven't. Thanks for being here. I don't remember seeing you here before, so it's a pleasure. Guys, just reminding you, if you guys have any questions about Brazil, if you have seen any piece of news and you want to confirm or you want to ask what's going on exactly here, I'm here open to answer your questions. If you have suggestions on what I should be recording for the next videos, it's always a pleasure. It's the end of semester, so I'm gonna confess I'm quite slow. I have been quite slow in the past few weeks because I'm dealing with a lot of end of projects, and for that reason I haven't been able to be posting much, but I am also making some changes, guys. You guys might know by now because you have been following me for a while, and also you're always here on the live streams, but I am changing the way that I do things, because I have noticed sometimes some people complain that they haven't received my videos. They have clicked on the bell button, they have subscribed and everything, and they don't receive the notifications of my videos. So that means YouTube is not delivering the videos that I make, you know? And I remember in the past, and when I say past, not long ago, maybe a year ago, my views would go up to 900, very simple videos. And in the past few months, it's not happening. So I was studying about that, and one of the reasons might be because the algorithm gets really confused in terms of what I produce, because I have videos about investment, I have videos about the culture, about blah, blah, blah. So I even had videos about the Portuguese language, right? So I'm trying to separate this. I'm trying to put content for the investors in another channel. By the way, the links are here under this, the video, in the description of the video. So you guys can go there and subscribe to help. So I'm kind of working things out around here, organizing the mess so that the algorithm can understand the channel and recommend it much more. But as soon as I'm done with this, I normalize everything, I will be producing 3 videos a week, even more, because I love this platform. I love the work that I have with you guys. My idea is to bring this to another level, so you can count and wait on very good content coming, okay? Josh is here. Hello, Josh. Brazil being noticeable tropical, apparently hot. What is the coldest region of Brazil? No doubt about it, the south is the coldest region. And I would say the coldest state might be Santa Catarina, which is in the middle of the south region. for the proximity to Argentina, to Uruguay, and the pole, right? The South Pole. Yeah, I would say Santa Catarina. There are some regions in Santa Catarina that are colder than Rio Grande do Sul, but they are both very good contenders for the title of coldest state in Brazil. And I don't know if you guys are aware, but Rio Grande do Sul presented more problems with the flood again, guys. You might remember last year I was here with a fund raising for the victims of the worst natural tragedy the state has ever faced, right? And you guys contributed. It was really good. So the point is, when they were trying to get back on their feet, the markets were back again. They were living their lives again. Rains came 2 weeks ago or a week ago and started flooding the other cities again. But this is something that is going to happen, in my opinion, very often, right? Very often. So I think, I really don't know what the authorities could do, because I think Porto Alegre is in a lower area, and all the rains that fall in the regions of the mountains, they will end up flowing down to the city. So you can imagine, right? As long as the live streams keep coming, then I'm all for it. Thank you, Charles. Charles, you have been a very important participant of the lives. I appreciate your support for the channel. It means a lot because I don't like talking to the wall. So when I have your companionships here, you guys are very important. I just do this for you as well, right? So it wouldn't make sense for me to be here talking to no one. So you guys are the reason for me to be here Mondays and Fridays. And I intend to keep it coming. Of course, I don't want it to be a conflict to the business that I have, because that's the one that pays my bills. So sometimes I might change the time of the live stream and even the day, but they will keep coming. This I promise you. This I promise you. They will keep coming. If it's not a Monday, it's going to be a Tuesday, a Friday, but we'll find a way to be here at least twice a week, because that's the moment I get a lot of ideas. I got a list of ideas for new content to be produced and some other things, right? We end up sharing and learning things together, so it's amazing. Amazing. Brad Zuka, yeah, I need to put Brad Zuka to work more often. This is for sure. This is for sure, man. But I'm just thinking of the format that I want Brad Zuka to be. He's been doing a great job, by the way, on the CTA, on the announcements, calling people for action. Hey, guys, subscribe. And also bringing information that I can't bring when I am on the streets and stuff. But in the past, I had a show just for him, remember, which was called BU News Roundup. But it's a lot of work to produce those, and I don't know. I need to think about what I'm going to do. No worries, man. Don't take anything I say seriously. I say that to all my friends. I like a joke. I really enjoy a joke just like any other Brazilian. I don't care if you like Corinthians or Chelsea or whatever. It's not a problem for me at all. I'm not a fanatic for soccer. There are people that they just lose it, you know. This is one of the reasons that kept me away from the club soccer for many years, right? When I was a teenager, I used to enjoy watching games from São Paulo, but there was a moment that I noticed people would go blind speaking about soccer. You know, they would punch one another just because the guy was wearing that club jersey. So for me, I never understood this kind of behavior. Like I was watching a YouTube channel we have in Brazil that became a television. They are so big. They have the partnership with FIFA now, and they have the rights to broadcast all the games and stuff. It's called Casé TV. And I was watching a game. I think it was Palmeiras versus Botafogo, and on the bleachers there was one guy, a Corinthian supporter, but he was in another part of the bleachers, and it was kind of secluded, right, or hidden, the area where he was. But the Palmeiras supporters found a way to see him. And the guys threatened to jump where he was, man, to climb up a place there and jump where he was just to punch him. He was with his wife just because he was wearing the Corinthians jersey. The guys wanted to pick him up, man. That was just crazy. This is the kind of thing that I don't understand. You know, I don't understand. Of course, the guy was very stupid to go to a Palmeiras game wearing his Corinthians jersey. He knows how Palmeirenses feel about Corinthians and vice versa. If the story were different, it would have happened the same. If it was Corinthians and one Palmeirense, same story. But this is something I don't understand. Like, I don't know you, but I hate you because you support an opponent. Oh, come on, you know. Porto Alegre recovered, Charles, from the floods. But, you know, I don't know financially. I think they lost a lot of money during the 2-3 months they waited for the water. No, it didn't take 3 months, but it took a while for the water to go down. But for things to get back to normal, like receiving the permission to go back to their businesses and their houses, and even the airport of Porto Alegre was closed for a while. I think more than 3 months the airport was closed. So I'm not gonna say they have recovered 100% because the losses they had to face will probably stay with them for many years, even though they have received money from the government. I don't know how much, and even contributions, because donations came from all over. I just hope this money really got to the hands of the people who needed the most, right? That's what all I hope. Yeah, they have separated sections for the away fans. They're supporting for segregate. Yeah, actually they do, but I don't know how to explain that, Charles. Let's say that this is where the general bleacher where the Palmeirenses were, and then you have a division. It would be like there's a gap here, so the guys are here. There's a big gap, so you come down when you sit down here. Let's suppose that these are all seats. So there is a space here, and then you have another part which is the ceiling, and then a small wall, and then another section of bleachers, of seats. So the guys were here, and they saw the guy here, right? And they started jumping to climb this small wall up and pick up the other supporter. Come on. It was just crazy. You are in another country, you are in the United States, and people are entitled to support whatever team they like. I always said, when reason disappears, I completely drive away from the topic. I hate when there is no reason. Or reasoning. We were created, or we came to this world with a brain. I think we're supposed to use it, right? So this kind of things piss me off. I'm a Brazilian, but I have been to the stadium, I think 2-3 times in my whole life. No, 4, I'm exaggerating. But 2 were to see the national team, which I love. If Brazil is playing, call me in. You can invite me, I can go. Or if my team is playing against a smaller team, one that is not so complicated. If São Paulo is playing Corinthians, never gonna go. Or Palmeiras for that matter, or Santos, never gonna go. But a small team from another state that is, the clash is not so big, it's not a problem for me, you know. But for that reason, I stayed away, even because sometimes people just talk about it, right? People just talk about soccer and or football, if you prefer. And I think there are so many interesting things we can discuss about. Like you're having a pizza here in my house, and we're just talking about soccer. Soccer could be part of the conversation, but there's so much we can learn from one another, right? So many interesting things that you would be pleased to hear from friends that know other subjects. That's what I think. And I see this a lot in girls here in Brazil. The girls get pissed off when the guy only talks about soccer. They get pissed off. They prefer to go somewhere else or talk to someone else. And I understand why, pretty much. If you guys are coming to São Paulo or to Brazil, depending on Brazil, on where in Brazil, but we're having another cold wave that started today, but this time is going to be milder than last week's. Because last week's I told you that we had a 39 Fahrenheit temperature, or 4 degrees Celsius. It was really cold last Wednesday. But this week, right now, for example, I'm wearing shorts, but I feel like my feet's getting a little, chilly. So if you're coming to São Paulo, come prepared, bring a jacket, because the temperature might go down under 10 degrees, it's saying here, but not as cold as 4. But it might go down to close to 10 or 9 degrees Fahrenheit. And the south, if you're going to Santa Catarina, Paraná, or Rio Grande do Sul, the 3 states of the south, then be ready. Be ready, because it's going to be cold. São Paulo won't feel that very much. I remember going to a Flamengo match. They were playing Internacional. Yes, they have to be. When they're, whatever the game is in Brazil, it's divided. They don't watch together. It's asking for debts, if you do that. Get a new girl. Or get a girl that is involved with soccer, because there are a lot of fanatic girls for clubs. Nowadays we see that more often, right, Charles? But it's interesting. Get a girl. Get a new girl. Yeah. So tomorrow is 1st of July, so we start to have the July parties, Festas Julinas now, right? People sometimes ask me, hey, are we gonna still have Festas Juninas in Brazil? Yeah, we will, the same format, but it's called Julina. But basically the same thing with the same food, they just changed the name, right? But not as often as in June. In June we have parties almost every day. And people love that. Telling you this because I just remember that tomorrow is July 1st. Well, let's see what is happening here. If you guys have any questions, go ahead, man. You can ask me. There's nothing much going on in Brazil in the past few days. For the good and for the bad, right? Nothing bad, nothing so interesting to be talking about. Oh yeah, the independence of the United States is on Friday. That's true. That's true. Friday. Yes, on Friday. Somebody told me, I think John McNulty, a friend that is always here too. He said it would be, listen, if I'm not mistaken, a 4 day holiday. Is that right? But I don't understand why, because the holiday is on Friday. You guys having any holidays on Monday as well? The 7th? No news is good news. Yeah, Charles, I agree with you, man. No news is good news. At least we don't have anything bad going on. And whenever we have a championship like this, it tends to take over the news, right? People will talk about soccer all the time. Good question, Neil. I don't know. Let me check. Let me check if there's gonna be a BRICS meeting. BRICS next meeting. This is a topic I intend to cover more often, Neil, on the new channel, the Brazilian market with Mark Saint. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to this new channel, please. The access is here. The link is here in the description of this video. Go there. We have two other channels, Portuguese with Mark Saint and also Brazilian market with Mark Saint. Even if you guys don't want to invest in Brazil, just support me by clicking there. Saif is here with us. How are you, Saif? Luzan, he's very happy because Saif is a Fluminense supporter, right? And Fluminense played really well today, let's be honest. Neo, I'm taking a look at the summit that is going to take place. I think I could go there, you know. Now that I'm seeing this, I think I could go. Let me see where it's going to happen. I think it's in Rio. Yes. The 2025 BRICS Summit, Neo, will be the 17th annual BRICS Summit held in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Okay, we had one. Oh, just a second. Let me just confirm this. Doesn't give the date exactly. Let me check. No, it says here. The 17th BRICS Summit will be July 6th, 2025 until Monday, which is a Sunday, until Monday, July 7th. But let me see where. It's in Brazil, it's in Rio. Yeah, it's gonna be in Rio, Neil. I'd like to be there. I don't know what for, but I would like to go. To try to cover very close, you know, the backstage. Yeah, it's gonna be in Brazil on the dates that I said. 16th and 17th. No, 6th, July 6th, which is this weekend. Come on. And July 7th. Yeah, it's this weekend. It just struck me. Rio. Yeah, I know the 4th of July is a massive celebration. I know that. Here, people don't care about September 7th, which is weird, you know. This sense of patriotism, it still exists, especially when we are competing against other peoples. But it's not the same like having a flag in front of every house, which is a shame. That's one of the things the monarchist supporters or the monarchists or the monarchy supporters, they say, If we were still in the monarchy, we would have a sense of family, a sense of union, knowing our heritage, our background, and we would definitely be more patriotic with our nation and our flag and stuff. Who knows? It's interesting, Charles. You always try to find a connection between the other teams and Chelsea, right? No, I like this guy because he played at Chelsea. Played for Chelsea, sorry. There's a BRICS website now. Brazil launches BRICS 2025 website, guys. Strengthening global South cooperation for more inclusive and sustainable governance. And let me see if they give more details about this next meeting. Yeah, July 6th and 7th, confirmed. July 6th and 7th, Brazil will host the BRICS Summit at the Museum of Modern Art, Museu de Arte Moderna, MAM, or MAM in Rio. All media professionals wishing to cover the event must apply to attend. Interesting. I think I need to make a video about that because it's an important event. The BRICS are so big now. They have so many more members, you know. When I first made a video, we just had a few. Okay. Because Flamengo has a lot of Chelsea people, right? Chelsea former players. David Luiz was from Chelsea, wasn't he? If I'm not mistaken. When I look at David Luiz, I remember 7-1 to Germany. Those guys screwed up big time. That's terrible. It was a massacre, you know. Let's see what else is going on in Brazil. People. Da-da-da-da. Wow. In the United States, it's not Brazil, but it's an interesting thing. Look, a child jumps off a cruise ship, a Disney cruise ship, and father goes after her to save her. I would have done the same, no doubt about it. If my daughter had fallen into the ocean, I would have jumped behind her. I really need glasses. Can't see, it's too far away. Oh, I keep telling you guys that when you come here, you need to go to Minas Gerais, right? I'm gonna call the Minas government and say, hey, you need to support me, sponsor me for, talking about your state so much. Because I always say great food, great people, very nice places, especially historical. And there is a report here that says that uh, um, a cheese from Minas Gerais has gotten the prize in an international competition as the best cheese in the world. Very nice. If you want to try white cheese, you need to go to Minas Gerais, that's for sure. Yeah, not much going on, guys. I'm talking to you about cheese, so you can understand that things are pretty calm. Garvar, how are you, man? Thanks for being here. 17th of May is a big celebration in Norway. Norwegian Constitution. Very nice, man. I was watching a video last night from a YouTuber from Brazil who lives in Norway. Yeah, I was gonna say another country. I don't know if it was Finland. No, I think it was Norway. It's a beautiful country, man. He was not very happy there, though. He said that in 2 years or more, living with his wife there, he couldn't make friends with the Norwegians. And he felt that it's because he was from Brazil. That's sad, you know. Oh, Neil has been to Minas Gerais, right, Neil? What city again? I don't remember. Was it Mariana? You didn't go to Ouro Preto, right? Some of the best people in Brazil, I've heard that you. Ah, definitely. Definitely. I didn't know that about the wife, but maybe that's because there was a period of time that I don't know if it's still going on, but there were 9 women or 11 women for each guy in Minas Gerais. I don't know the numbers today. Neo is gonna look for a wife in Minas Gerais. Tiradentes, okay, which is pretty close to Ouro Preto. I'm taking a look at a report here. Yeah, things have changed a little. I'm talking about when I was a teenager. I remember it was 11 women for each man um, in Minas Gerais. Yes, but that was back in the 90s. That's why I wanted to check again because I remember I was 16 years old. I went to uh, a craft fair downtown. My God, there were women everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. I looked, women, beautiful, beautiful, everywhere, incredible. But I'm taking a look at the IBGE census here, which is our institute for this kind of service and research. And it says here that things have changed a little. Um, I know, take a look. I was reading from the AI, so no, take a look. The last census that they had, it shows that there are 87 men for each 100 women in the capital. So that is a 13-man deficit. Yeah, it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. 13-man deficit in Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais. Let me translate the report for you guys. 1 second, please, so that I can read. We don't have any help from men. We are more organized. We can manage better and support ourselves. We don't miss the presence of men. What? Says lawyer Camila Marinho, 30, who lives with her grandmother Maria do Carmo, 79, who is retired, and her daughter Luisa, 8, in Belo Horizonte. Just like in her home, it is common to find families in the capital of Minas where women predominate. I can see a lot of you guys changing the itineraries, right, of your next trips. I can see that. Right, Neil? On Women's Day, celebrated on March 8th, which symbolizes the fight against inequality and gender violence, Super shows that BH, or Belo Horizonte, is no Super. Okay, is the magazine here, shows that BH is the city with the highest proportion of women in relation to men in Minas Gerais. according to the latest census by the Brazilian Institute of Geography and Statistics, IBGE, released in October 2023, referring to the year 2022. Among the 27 capitals in the country, Minas Gerais has the 8th highest proportion of women to men. I want to know the first for you guys to be happy. According to the survey, for every 100 females, there are 86.8 males in the city. I think this 0.8 is very interesting, right? How do you calculate 86.8 guys? You cut somebody? Half? What do you do? It's something I never understood, you know? If you guys know statistics, maybe you can teach me one day. So for every 100 girls, 86.8 guys. In total numbers, from the 2,315,560 residents of BH, 1,239,813 are girls, and 1,075,000 girls, 1,239,000 guys, 1,075,747. That is 164,066 people from the or females better. I thought I had translated this. Why am I reading Portuguese and then translating? 1 second, please. Sometimes I don't know which language I'm reading. Isn't it crazy? Okay. Let me get back here. So take a look. I'm going to read again. According to the survey, for every 100 females, there are 86.8 males in the city, in Belo Horizonte. In total numbers of the 2,315,560 inhabitants of BH, 1,239,813 are women, and 1,075,747 are men. That is 164,066 more females. 164,066 more women in Belo Horizonte. Right? From Uberlândia, she looked like she's won some beauty contest. I have no doubt. Despite being her 50s, tall, blonde, Brazilian woman. Sure. Yeah, Brazil is a mix, right? Yeah. Brazil is a big mix. Camila was Luisa's mother while she was studying. What? Not a good translation. You coordinate a hospital. Just seeing if there's any other interesting information here. Women have a lower risk of dying, especially from external causes, which means that there are more women at adult and elderly ages, not at younger ages, because it says here that boys are born more often, but the women less. Look at the situation. At 40 years old, the delivery driver Michelle de Oliveira shares her home in the Amard neighborhood in the northeast region of Belo Horizonte with her mother Valmíria, 59 years old. So Michelle is 40. She's a delivery driver. Her mother Valmíria is 59. Her sister Jessica is 32. Her daughter Ariela, 4, and her niece Ana Clara, 11. The only male member of the family is her nephew Samuel, 7 months old. Currently, she and her sister, who is a pharmacy representative, are the breadwinners of the household. Only girls in a family. And he says here it happens a lot. Interesting. It even says about why there are more boys being born, you know? It's very interesting. Yeah, yeah, I'm not surprised with the report because I remember being there and just seeing girls everywhere. I think if you are a girl, then that's a problem, right? Because, I mean, of course, considering you're straight, right? If you live there, imagine going to a bar and you just see girls, girls all the time. Oh, interesting. The city of São Paulo is creating a system that already exists in the US, as far as I know, which is a database of pedophiles and rapists and sexual predators. I know that this exists in the US, at least I have been told, but I think I read about this somewhere. So São Paulo is creating the same system with pictures of the person. Nothing much going on. As nobody has questions, I think I'm leaving. I have an appointment at 8 p.m., a class. So I want to thank you all for being here with me. Thank you for participating. Thank you for the comments. Charles, Neil, Garvar, everybody. Tisha, who came, said hello. Thank you so much. And all of you who were here but didn't step up to say anything, no problem. Thank you for the support. I'm leaving. I need to work a little bit until 10 p.m. But God bless you all, and I'll see you on Friday.